Welcome back to Le Podcast de Philippe.
Huh.
Today we're going to take a deep dive into something pretty fascinating.
Oh, okay.
We're going to explore the world of artificial intelligence.
Sounds good.
But not just AI as we know it today.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be looking ahead
Right.
30 years into the
yeah.
future,
Okay.
to the year 2055.
All right.
And to help us on this little journey into the future,
Yeah.
we've enlisted the help of two very special AI guests.
Oh, interesting.
ChatGPT and Perplexity.
Okay.
Asked them to give us their predictions
All right.
on everything AI.
Okay.
From self-driving cars to AI assistants.
Yeah.
And even the possibility of AI becoming conscious.
Oh, wow.
So if you've ever wondered what the future holds for artificial intelligence, and maybe even for humanity itself,
Right.
this is the deep dive for you.
I'm excited.
And hey, while you're here,
Yeah.
why not hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel? That way you'll never miss an episode of the Podcast de Philippe and all our future deep dives.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's jump right in.
Okay.
One thing that both ChatGPT and Perplexity seem to agree on
Yeah.
is that AI is going to be like super integrated into our daily lives by 2055.
That makes sense.
But
Yeah.
what does that actually look like? Like, how will AI be a part of our everyday routines?
Well, I think it was going to be way more than just, asking Siri to set a timer or using Google Maps to get around.
Right.
Both sources suggest that AI assistants are going to become a lot more proactive and a lot more personalized.
So they're going to like anticipate our needs.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, imagine an AI that knows you so well, it can manage your schedule.
Help you make decisions.
Yeah.
Maybe even like give you fashion advice.
Oh, wow. That'd be interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
No more fashion faux pas.
Exactly.
So it's not just about convenience anymore.
Right.
It's about AI actually like understanding us on a deeper level.
Yeah, I think that's a key point.
Okay, so that's AI assistance.
Mm-hmm.
But Perplexity actually took things a step further.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they mentioned something called brain-computer interfaces.
Brain-computer interfaces.
Yeah, basically technology that allows our brains to directly communicate with computers.
Oh, wow. That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Right. It does sound pretty futuristic, but Perplexity seems to think that this technology could become fairly commonplace by 2055.
So we're talking about, like, controlling devices with our thoughts.
Exactly. And, it might sound far-fetched, but consider this.
Okay.
Brain-computer interfaces are already being researched and developed for medical purposes.
Oh, that's right.
Like helping people with paralysis regain movement. So it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility
Yeah, I guess not.
that they could become more widely accessible in the next 30 years.
So we might all be telepathic cyborgs by then.
Well, maybe not telepathic, but the idea of controlling technology with our minds is definitely pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we've got AI assistants who know us better than we know ourselves. We've got brain-computer interfaces that can turn us into cyborgs.
Right.
What else did these AI oracles have to say about our future?
Well, this is where things get really interesting. They both brought up something called artificial general intelligence, or AGI for short.
AGI?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this AGI thing.
Okay.
What exactly does it mean for an AI to be general?
So basically it means the AI can learn and solve problems across different domains.
Much like humans can.
Yeah, it wouldn't be limited to specific tasks like, playing chess or generating text.
Right.
It could theoretically understand and reason about the world in a more holistic way.
So like a super intelligent computer that can actually think for itself.
Well, think might be a bit of a loaded term, but yeah, the idea is that AGI would be able to learn and adapt in ways that current AI systems can't.
Okay, so what kind of impact would that have on our lives? Like how would AGI change things?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, and honestly, nobody knows for sure. But both sources highlight the potential benefits.
Like what?
Well, for example, AGI could help us collaborate on complex problems.
Oh, okay.
Like climate change, finding new energy sources.
Curing diseases.
Exactly.
So like solving some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Right. And Perplexity even suggested that AGI could lead autonomous missions in space exploration.
Whoa, hold on. So we're talking about like AI astronauts venturing out to distant galaxies.
It might sound like science fiction, but it's a possibility that some experts are seriously considering.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But wouldn't a super intelligent AI also pose some risks?
Well, that's a question that a lot of people are asking.
Right. What's to stop it from, like, turning on us, like in all those movies?
Yeah, that's a valid concern and one that we definitely need to be discussing as we develop this technology.
It's like a double-edged sword. We
Yes.
have this incredible potential for progress,
Mm-hmm.
but also the responsibility to ensure that it's used for good.
Yep.
Okay, so on the one hand, we could have AI helping us solve some of our biggest problems.
Right.
And on the other hand, we could have a robot uprising.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that,
Right.
but it is something we need to be aware of.
For sure.
I mean, the future is uncertain, but that's part of what makes it so exciting.
So true.
Right.
Okay, so what kind of time frame are we looking at for this AGI to actually emerge? Like, when could we see these super intelligent AIs?
Well, predicting the future is always tricky,
Hmm.
but both sources suggest that we could see significant advancements in AGI within the next 30 years.
So by 2055.
Exactly.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean we'll have fully conscious machines walking among us,
Right.
but it does point towards a future where AI plays a much more prominent role in our lives.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Okay, so AI assistants on steroids,
Mm-hmm.
brain-computer interfaces,
Right.
and the potential rise of AGI.
It's going to be a wild ride.
It sounds like we're in for a pretty interesting few decades.
For sure.
But what about the practical stuff? Like, how will all of this impact our everyday lives, especially when it comes to work?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. So, we were talking about how AI will impact work.
Right, right. Like, will we even have jobs in 2055?
Yeah. Well, both ChatGPT and Perplexity seem to think that AI will lead to some pretty significant shifts in the workplace.
Like, what kind of shifts are we talking about here?
Well, for one, they both suggest that we could see shorter work weeks.
Shorter work weeks. I could definitely get behind that.
Yeah, who wouldn't? And they also predict the emergence of entirely new types of jobs.
So it's not just about AI taking our jobs.
Right. It's also about AI creating new opportunities that we can't even imagine yet.
So it's like a double-edged sword again.
Exactly. It's going to be a period of disruption and adjustment for sure, but it could also lead to a more fulfilling and balanced way of life.
Okay, but what about the people whose jobs do become fully automated? Like, how do we ensure that everyone benefits from this AI revolution?
That's a crucial question, and one that policymakers and society as a whole will need to grapple with.
Right, like we don't want to create a world where only a select few benefit from AI while everyone else is left behind.
Exactly. We need to think about things like universal basic income retraining programs and new models for economic prosperity that take into account the changing nature of work.
So it's not just a technological challenge, it's also a social and economic one.
Absolutely. We need to approach this transition thoughtfully and make sure that no one gets left behind.
Okay, so let's say we figure all that out and we do manage to create a world where everyone benefits from AI.
Right.
What skills will be most valuable in a world where AI is our coworker?
Well, both ChatGPT and Perplexity suggest that creativity, critical thinking, and complex problem solving will be highly sought after.
So the skills that are uniquely human.
Exactly. Those are the skills that AI, at least for now, can't replicate as effectively as we can.
So we're not all going to be replaced by robots just yet.
Not necessarily, but we do need to be prepared for a rapidly changing job market.
Okay, so what's the best way to prepare for this AI-powered future?
I think it's important to stay curious, embrace new technologies, and focus on developing those uniquely human skills.
So maybe instead of fearing the robot takeover, we should be focusing on how we can collaborate with AI to create a better future.
I think that's the key. AI has the potential to augment our abilities, enhance our productivity, and free us up to focus on more creative and meaningful work.
So it's not about humans versus machines.
Right. It's about humans and machines working together to achieve common goals.
Okay, so that's work. But what about our personal lives? Like, how will AI impact our relationships, our emotions, our sense of self?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. ChatGPT predicts that AI will become more adept at recognizing and responding to our emotions in a nuanced way.
Wait, so we're talking about AI that can actually understand human emotions?
Yeah, that's what ChatGPT seems to think.
Okay, but how is that even possible? Like, can machines really feel empathy or compassion?
Well, those are complex philosophical questions that we may not have answers to for a long time. But even if AI can't truly feel emotions, it could still be programmed to recognize and respond to them in a way that's beneficial to humans.
So like an AI therapist,
Maybe. Or an AI companion that can provide emotional support.
or even an AI friend.
It's certainly a possibility, and it raises all sorts of interesting questions about the future of human-machine interaction.
Okay, so we've talked about AI assistants, brain-computer interfaces, the rise of AGI, the future of work, and now emotional AI. Anything else these AI oracles had to say about our future?
Well, there's one more thing that both ChatGPT and Perplexity mentioned:
Okay, what is it?
quantum computing.
Quantum computing. Now we're getting really
I
futuristic.
know, right?
Okay, so for those of us who aren't physicists,
Yeah.
can you explain what quantum computing is and how it would impact AI?
Sure. So basically, quantum computing is a type of computing that harnesses the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations far beyond the capabilities of classical computers.
Okay, so it's like super fast computing.
It's more than just speed. It's about entirely new possibilities for problem solving. Imagine AI systems that can analyze vast amounts of data in real time, leading to breakthroughs in fields like medicine materials, science, and even climate modeling.
So quantum computing could basically supercharge AI capabilities.
Exactly. It could be a game changer, enabling us to tackle problems that are currently intractable.
Okay, but isn't quantum computing still in its early stages of development?
It is, but both sources suggest that we could see significant progress in the next 30 years, potentially leading to a convergence of quantum computing and AI that transforms countless industries.
So it's like the ultimate power couple.
Yeah, quantum computing and AI together could unlock a whole new level of technological advancement.
It's pretty mind-boggling to think about the potential.
It is, but it's also important to remember that with great power comes great responsibility.
Right, like we need to make sure that these technologies are used ethically and for the benefit of all humanity.
Absolutely. That's a conversation that we need to be having now before it's too late. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive,
Right.
from AI assistants to brain-computer interfaces, AGI, emotional AI, quantum computing.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. So I think it's important to bring it back to our listeners, and really highlight what they should remember from all of this.
Yeah, what's the key takeaway here?
I think the most important thing to remember is that the future of AI isn't some predetermined outcome.
Right.
It's a tapestry that we're all weaving together through the choices we make and actions we take.
So it's not about passively observing the rise of the machines.
No, right.
It's about actively shaping the role that AI plays in our lives.
Exactly. And that requires us to be informed and engaged and willing to have those tough conversations, about the ethics and the potential consequences.
Right, because AI is a powerful tool.
It is.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Exactly. So we need to make sure that we're using it wisely.
So it's like we're all co-pilots on this journey into the future of AI.
I like that analogy.
We need to be aware of the potential risks, but also open to the incredible possibilities.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll look back on these predictions
Right.
and marvel at how far we've come.
Or how much we managed to avoid.
Well, if I could ask an AI one thing in 2055, it would be, did we get it right?
Oh, that's a good one.
Did we make the choices that led to a future where AI benefits all of humanity?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it?
It is, and I think it highlights the importance of having these conversations now,
Right.
while we still have the chance to steer the course of AI development.
Absolutely.
So to our listeners out there,
Yes.
don't just sit back and wait for the future to happen.
Right, get involved.
Get involved, stay informed, and be part of shaping the AI-powered world that you want to live in.
Because the future of AI is in our hands.
It's up to us to decide what kind of world we want to create.
Well said. And in the meantime,
Yes.
keep listening to Le Podcast de Philippe for more deep dives.
Into the fascinating world of technology and innovation.
Exactly.
Until next time, stay curious.
Yeah.